Shabbat Shalom. Good morning. We are so excited to be gathering together today, reaching for our prayer book, Mishkan Tefillah. If you don't have a physical copy, please look to our live stream page for a link to a PDF. You are welcomed to sing, pray, to be this morning. 185. May the door of this sanctuary be wide enough to receive all who hunger for love, all who are lonely for friendship. May it welcome all who have cares to unburden, thanks to express, hopes to nurture. May the door of this sanctuary be narrow enough to shut out pettiness and pride, envy and enmity. May its threshold be no stumbling block to young or straying feet. May it be too high to admit complacency, selfishness, and harshness. May this synagogue be, may this sanctuary be, may this community be, for all who enter, the doorway to a richer and more meaningful life. 187. To you the stars of morning sing, from your light, from you their bright radiance must spring, and steadfast in their vigils, day and night. The children of Hashchina, flooded with fervor, ring your praise. They teach the holy ones to bring into your house the breath of early light. In gratitude, in thanksgiving, the facing page. Open for me the gates of righteousness, that I may enter them and give thanks to the source. 188. Continuing in our Thanksgiving, Pitkuli. Pitkuli Shari Tzedek Ahova Modia Modia Pitkuli Shari Tzedek Ahova Modia Modia Pitkuli Shari Tzedek Ahova Modia Pitkuli Shari Tzedek Ahova Modia. In gratitude for the physical gifts, praying on this blessing of our bodies. 194. Praise to you, Adonai, our source, sovereign of the universe, who formed the human body with skill. Creating the body's many pathways and openings, it is well known before your throne of glory that if one of them be wrongly opened or closed, it would be impossible to endure and stand before you. Baruch atah Adonai, rofei chol basar, u'mafli lasot. I invite you this morning to take a deep breath together. One 196, we recognize the breath, the life, the source breathes into us each day, breathes into us, into all living beings. Elohai neshama shenatata tehorahi. Elohai neshama shenatata tehorahi. Elohai neshama shenatata My God, the soul you have given me is pure. You created it, you shaped it, you breathed it into me, and you protect it within me for as long as my soul is within me. I offer thanks to you, Adonai, my source, and source of my ancestors, source of all creation, sovereign of all living souls. Baruch atah Adonai, asher bi'ado nefesh kol chai, beruach kol besarish. One 198. The miracle of life, the miracle of daily blessings. Please join in Together, in the blue in the margin, we will begin with Hebrew. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lasech divina lehavchin ben yom uvein laila for awakening. Amen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam pokeach ivrim for vision. Amen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam matir asurim for the ability to stretch. Amen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam so cave kifufim for rising to the new day. Amen. 200. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam rokah haaretz al hamayim for firm earth to stand upon. Amen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam machin mitzadei gather for the gift of motion. Amen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam malbish arumim for clothing the body. Amen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hanotein la'ya'ef koach for renewed enthusiasm for life. Amen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hama'avir she'ena me'enai utnuma me'af apai for reawakening. 202 continuing in English. Praise to you, Adonai, our source, sovereign of the universe, who made me in the image of the divine. Amen. Praise to you, Adonai Hashchina, sovereign of the universe, who has made me free. Amen. Praise to you, Adonai, our God, sovereign of the universe, who has made me a Jew. Amen. Praise to you, Adonai, our source, sovereign of the universe, who girds Israel with strength. Amen. Praise to you, Adonai Hashchina, sovereign of the universe, who crowns Israel with splendor. Amen. We arrive 204 at the crowning blessing of Birkot HaShachar. It is the crowning blessing because of our intention. We are moving from a place of gratitude this morning to a place of responsibility, of action, engaging with the Torah. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu la'asok b'divrei Torah. Blessed are you, Adonai, our source, sovereign of the universe, who hallows us with mitzvot, commanding us to engage with words of Torah. Amen. Page 213. Hareini mizameh et pili odot uhalel ushabeach et bori. With this do I prepare myself to thank, praise, and glorify my Creator. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam batishbachot. 215, a second invitation this morning to breathe. A deep breath in, feeling your connection with your seat, feeling the connection to the ground beneath you and the ground to the earth beneath that. Ashrei Yoshvei Veitecha. Oh, dear hallelujah. Oh, dear hallelujah. Ashrei Yoshvei Veitecha. Oh, dear hallelujah. Oh, dear hallelujah. Hallelujah. In Hallel, in celebration, finally in celebration this morning, we move to 218. Hallelujah, El Bekocho, Hallelujah, Bekiahuso, Hallelujah, Bivurotav. Hallelujah, Kiro, Kulo, Hallelujah, Beteka Shofar, Hallelujah, Bena, Bechinor. Hallelujah, 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 Hallelujah. Hallelujah, Betofu Macho, Hallelujah, Minim Veukar, Hallelujah, Betzilzle Shama. Hallelujah, Betzilzle Chua, Kol Nishama Tzalaya. Hallelujah, 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 Hallelujah. 224. We indulge in the ancient rhythmic prayer. L'chatzi Kaddish, Yit Kadal, V'yit Kadash, Shemei Rabba, Be'alma Divrach Yerutei, V'yamlich Malchutei, B'chayechon u'v'yomechon u'v'chayei dechol Beit Yisrael, Ba'agala u'v'zman kariv v'imru Amen. Yehei Shmei Rabba Mevarach Le'olam Ul Almei Almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh. V'yithadar v'yit'aleh v'yithalal Shemei dekudesha berich hu Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata Tush v'chata v'nechemata Da'miran be'alma be'emru Amen. Yehi shlama rabba min shemaya Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh v'yitadar v'yithaleh v'yithalal Shemei dekudesha berich hu Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata Tush v'chata v'nechemata Da'miran be'alma be'emru Amen. Rising in spirit, rising in body as we feel moved this morning. 226. We intention our light this morning east towards Yisrael. In the beginning, even then, a new light was sown for the righteous, a promise that your light would become the catalyst, first for order, then for hope. Author of language and light, help us to use words as you have, to cast light into dark waters and draw out justice and truth. The facing page. Shine a new light upon Zion, that we may swiftly merit its radiance. Shine a new light. I offer this moment of light to those in Ukraine suffering senseless acts of violence. A new light will shine upon Zion and upon all of the world. 230. How deeply you have loved us, Adonai, our source, gracing us with surpassing compassion on account of our forebears whose trust led you to teach them the laws of life. Be gracious to us, teaching us as well. O merciful one, have mercy on us by making us able to understand, discern, to heed, learn, and teach, and lovingly observe, perform, and fulfill all that is in your Torah. V'ha'ereinu b'toratecha, v'dabek libeinu b'mitzvotecha, v'yached levaveinu le'ahava u'yirah et shemecha, v'lo nivosh, v'lo nikalem, v'lo nikashil, le'olam va'ed, ki v'shem kodshecha hagadol v'hanora b'tochlu, nagila v'nismecha, nagila v'nismecha b'yeshuatecha, v'lo nivosh, v'lo nikalem, v'lo nikashil, le'olam va'ed, ki v'shem kodshecha hagadol v'hanora b'tochlu, nagila v'nismecha, nagila v'nismecha b'yeshuatecha. Gather us in peace from the four corners of the earth, and lead us upright to your land. For you, O source, work wonders. You choose us truly, you drew us near to your great name, that we might acknowledge you, declaring you one in love. Baruch atah Adonai habocher be'amo Yisrael be'ahava. 232. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto, Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto, Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto, le'olam va'ed. Baruch Shem kivod malchuto, le'olam va'ed. Lai, 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 yai, lai, 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 בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודך, והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבבך, ושיננתם לבניך, ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוך בך ובקומך וקשרתם לאות על ידך והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך. 237. Life without integrity is like loosely hanging threads, easily flaying from the main cloth. While in acts of piety we learn to understand that every instant is like a thread, raveling out of eternity to form a delicate tassel. We must not cast off the threads, but weave them into design of an internal fabric. Each day points to eternity. The fate of all time depends upon a single moment. The facing page. למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם אדוני אלוהיכם emet. Emet, there is no place where you are not. Even in the wilderness there is your word. Emet, that pen strokes of lightning, white fire, black flame, stir the soul's passion, guide our sacred way. True and enduring is Torah. Your truth for us is certain and established now and forevermore. Like Moses, Miriam, and all Israel, we sing out and rejoice. Page 240. מי כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך נעתר בקודש, נורא תהילות אוסיף נורא תהילות אוסיף שירה חדשה שיבחו גאולים לשמך על שפת הים יחד כולם הודו והמלכו ואמרו אדוני ימלוך אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד. צור ישראל קומה בעזרת ישראל ובטחנו ממך יהודה וישראל. ועלינו אדוני צבאות שמו קדוש ישראל. ברוך אתה אדוני גואל ישראל. Amen. 242. We direct our kavanah east. Even if we are not quite sure where east is, in our home we can send our intention to Israel this morning. 244. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu ve'Elohei Avoteinu ve'Imoteinu Elohei Abraham Elohei Yitzchak ve'Elohei Yaakov Elohei Sarah Elohei Rivka Elohei Rachel ve'Elohei Leah Ha'el Hagadol Hagibor Hanora El Elyon Gomer Chasadim Tovim Ve'Konei Hakol V'zoker chaste avot v'imahot u'mevii geula livnei bneihem למען שמו באהבה מלך עוזר מושיע ומגן ברוך אתה אדוני מגן אברהם בעזרת שרה 246 אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני מחיי הכל אתה רב להושיע משיב הרוח ומוריד הגשם מחכה חיים בחסד מחיי מתים ברחמים רבים צומח נופלים ורופא חולים ומתיר אסורים ומקיים אמונתו לשני עפר מי כמוך בעל גבורות ומידו מלך מלך ממית ומקיים ומשמיח ישועה ונאמן אתה לחיות הכל ברוך אתה אדוני מחיי הכל 248 נקדש את שמך בעולם כשם שמעתי שמו טוב בשמי מרום ככתוב ליד נביאך וקרא זה אל זה ואמר קדוש 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 אדוני צבאות מלוך כל הארץ כבודו אדיר אדירנו אדוני אדוננו מדיר שמך בכל הארץ ברוך כבוד אדוני ממקומו אחד הוא אלוהינו הוא אבינו הוא מלכנו הוא מושיענו יחו ישמיענו ברחמיו לעיני כל חי אני אדוני אלוהיכם ימלוך אדוני לעולם אלוהי ציון לדור ודור הללויה Yismechu 250. Those who keep Shabbat, by calling it a delight, will rejoice in your realm. Yismechu b'malchutecha, shomrei, 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 Shabbat v'korei, oneg Shabbat. Yismechu b'malchutecha, shomrei, 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 Shabbat v'korei, oneg Shabbat. Mekadeshi shevi Shabbat. Kulam yisbehu v'yitanku mituv v'chashavat. Yismechu b'malchutecha, shomrei, 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 Shabbat v'korei, oneg Shabbat. Yismechu b'malchutecha, shomrei, 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 Shabbat v'korei, oneg Shabbat. V'hashvi'i ratzita bo v'kidashto Shabbat, k'emdad yamin, oto gerata Shabbat. Zeicher l'ma'asi v'rishit Shabbat. Zeicher l'ma'asi v'rishit Shabbat. Yai lai lai, yai lai 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 lai, yai lai yai lai 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 lai, yai lai lai lai, yai lai lai lai, yai lai lai lai, yai lai 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 lai. We continue this morning with our hearts lifted to Silent Amidah through page 20, 260. Please be sure to offer the prayers not on the page that you have in your hearts this morning. Yehiyu leratzon imrefi, v'hegyon libi lefanecha, Adonai tzuri v'go ali. May the words of my mouth and the meditations of my heart be acceptable to you, Adonai, my rock and my redeemer. Asking for peace, for a blanket of peace to be offered to shelter the whole world. Ose shalom imroma, uyase shalom, uyase shalom aleinu, yase shalom aleinu, ose shalom bimromav, uyase shalom, uyase shalom aleinu, yase shalom aleinu, ve'alkol, 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 Yisrael, ve'alkol, 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 yoshvei tiveh. V'imru amen, v'imru amen. We ask for peace on earth, and we say amen. V'imru amen, v'imru amen. We raise our voice as one, and we say amen. With peace in our hearts, we move to 362 as we prepare to read Torah this morning. Ein kamocha v'Elohim Adonai, ve'ein k'ma'asecha, malchutecha malchut kol amim, u'memshaltecha b'chol dor v'dor. Adonai melech, Adonai malach, Adonai yimloch le'olam va'ad, Adonai oz le'amoitin, Adonai yivarech katamo v'shalom. Avarachamim etiva v'tonecha el Tzion, tivnei chomot Yerushalayim, ki bechol levod batachnu, melech Elam v'nisadon olamim. 364. Ki mitzion teitzei Torah, ki mitzion teitzei Torah, בשמיים ובארץ, לך אדוני המלאכה, ועמית נעשה לכוני ראש. This morning, as we move to read Torah, I invite you to pull up your own Chumash, maybe pull up a virtual tab on Sefaria, a Torah reading app. This morning, we will be reading from Exodus 35. It is my honor to invite for our first Aliyah, Ellen Leifer. We will have our reading by Samara Gilman this morning. She will be reading chapter 35, verses 1 through 3. Na lamod eta mebeit Moshe b'Yocheved la'aliyah harishona.
Baruch et Adonai HaMevarach.
Baruch Adonai HaMevarach le'olam va'ed.
Baruch Adonai HaMevarach le'olam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bacha bana mikol ha'amim, v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen. Vayakhel Moshe et kol adat b'nei Yisrael vayomer alehem ele hadvarim asher siva Adonai la'asot otaham sheshet yamim te'aseh melacha uvayom hashvi'i yiyeh lachem kodesh Shabbat Shabbaton la'Adonai kol ha'oseh voho melachat yomat lo tiva'aru esh b'chol boshvotechem b'yom HaShabbat.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher natan lanu Torat emet, v'chayei olam nata b'tochenu. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen. Yesher koach to our blesser, Ellen, this morning, to our reader, and also our special guest, Abigail. Shabbat Shalom, Abigail. Our next reader will be continuing in chapter 35 with verses 4 through 6. It is my honor and privilege to call Martin Miller for the blessing and Torah reading. Na lamod Mordechai Dov Zahav Yam Beit Eliyahu Yoshua Vegelia La'aliyah Hashniya.
Baruch et Adonai HaMevarach.
Baruch Adonai HaMevarach le'olam va'ed.
Baruch Adonai Baruch Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu Melech Ha'olam Asher Bacha Banu Mikol Ha'amim V'natan Lanu Et Torato. Baruch Atah Adonai Notein HaTorah.
Amen.
Vayomer Moshe El Kol Adat B'nei Yisrael Lemor Ze Hadavar Asher Tzeva Adonai Le'emor Kichu Me'itchem Truma La'Adonai Kol Yediv Libi Yevieha Et Trumahat Adonai Zahav Vachesef Unochoshet Utchelet Ve'arkaman V'tola'at Sheni V'sheish V'izim. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech ha'olam asher natan lanu torat emet v'chayei olam natah b'tochenu. Baruch atah Adonai notein haTorah.
Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Marty. It is such a gift to have you all the way from Florida this morning. We take pause with our attention on the Torah to offer a Misha Berach for those in need of healing. Misha Berach Avotenu ve'imotenu Abraham, Yitzchak ve'Yaakov, Sarah, Rivka, Rachel ve'Leah, Hu yivarech et hacholim, Annie Anderson, Amanda Batista, Susan Bosch, Susan Becker, Farrell Brenner, Jenny Bryant, Tom Burrows, Amelia Byers, Audrey Cohen, Jay Cohen, Joe Cohen, Robert Cook, Carol Cooper, Del Corvin, Tyler Corvin, Louis Costello, Bob Davis, Yehuda Ben Leah, V'chaim, Lila Dolgan, Lila Batieta V'Moshe, Honey Fine, Phyllis Fillmore, Ellen Futterman, John Gautier, Joy Gross, Ron Hall, Carol Levine Brenner, Darren Jacobs, Judy Jacobs, Debbie Kalish, Lee Kalish, Les Calmus, Seth Kerr, Susan Klamberg, Andrea Klein, Mary J. Klein, Lou Klein, Buddy Krakowski, Malka Levine, Jeff Lukash, Ken Lyjak, Stacy Lynn, Stevie Linworth, Lana Hogram, Stephanie Payusko, Rick Peruso, Carla Friedman, Ellie Idowitz, Ruth Kabayasser, from Tony Rosenstein, Elaine Trott, Beverly Ushkow, Ellen Vogelhoff, George Wells, Ben Wilder, Phyllis Wolfield, Sue Worthman, Gretchen Zimmerman, Richard and Laura Gelbert, Lauren Patties, and all who are on continued healing bread last evening. Please offer names to those in need of healing. HaKadosh Baruch Hu Yimelei Rachamim Aleihem L'Hachlimam U'Rabotam U'Hachzikam V'Yishlach Lahem Hira Refuah Shlema Min HaShamayim Refuat HaNefesh U'Refuat HaGuf Hashta Bagala V'Zman Kariv V'Nomar Amen. This morning, we continue our Torah study in chapter 35, verses 7 through 9. It is with love and joy I invite Melanie Hall for our blessing and Torah reading. Nalamo Ruach mebeit Avraham v'Sara le'aliyah ha'shlishit.
Baruch et Adonai Hamvarach.
Baruch Adonai
Baruch
Hamvarach
Adonai Hamvarach le'olam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech ha'olam asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten ha'Torah. Amen. Ve'orot elim me'adamim ve'orot tichashim va'atzei shatim ve'shemen lema'or usamim l'shemen hamishcha ve'liktoret hasamim ve'avnei shoham ve'avnei miluim la'afod ve'lachol shem. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech ha'olam asher natan lanu Torat emet v'chaye olam nata b'tochenu. Baruch atah Adonai noten ha'Torah.
Amen. Yasher koach to all of our readers this morning. It's such a gift to bring you into my home and hear your voices in my home. We will continue with Hagba V'Glila virtually. I invite our Jessica Fillmore and our Regina Skolnick, our Regina, to dress the Torah with me. They have been such a help in getting this up and running for us and our community this morning. Bezot HaTorah asher sam Moshe lifnei bnei Yisrael api Adonai beyad Moshe. Torah, 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 tziva lanu Moshe. Torah, 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 tziva lanu Moshe. Torah, 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 tziva lanu Moshe. Torah, 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 tziva lanu Moshe. Before we move to put away our virtual Torah this morning, we have the honor of hearing Jonathan Billig, the director of our Jewish Learning Adventure. This morning, he will read Haftorah for us. Our Haftorah can be found in 1 Kings 7, verses 40 through 45. I have it's 625 in the Plaut Chumash. Thank you, Jonathan.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam אשר בחר בנביאים טובים, ורצה בדבריהם הנאמרים באמת. ברוך אתה אדוני, הבוחר בתורה ובמשה עבדו, ובישראל עמו, ובנביאי האמת והצדק. ויסתירם את הקירות ואת היעים ואת המזרקות, ויכל חירם לעשות את כל המלאכה אשר עשה למלך שלמה בית אדוני, עמודים 2 וגולות הכותרות אשר על ראש העמודים 2, והסבכות 2 לכסות את 2 גולות הכותרות אשר על ראש העמודים, ואת הרימונים 400 לשתי הסבכות, 2 טורים ורימונים לסבכה האחד לכסות את 2 גולות הכותרות אשר על פני העמודים, ואת המכונות אשר 10, ואת הקירות 10 על המכונות, ואת הים האחד, ואת הבקר 12 תחת הים, ואת הסירות ואת היעים, ואת המזרקות, ואת כל הכלים האלה אשר עשה חירם למלך שלמה בית אדוני, נחושת ממורד. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם, צור כל העולמים, צדיק בכל הדורות, האל הנאמן האומר ויעשה, המדבר ומקיים, שכל דבריו אמת והצדק, על התורה ועל העבודה ועל הנביאים ועל יום השבת הזה שנתת לנו אדוני אלוהינו, לקדושה ולמנוחה, לכבוד ולתפארת. על הכל אדוני אלוהינו אנחנו מודים לך ובורכים אותך, יתברך שמך בפי כל חי תמיד לעד. ברוך אתה אדוני מקדש השבת.
Amen. Thank you for that beautiful reading, Jonathan. I invite Jonathan back as we have our Torahs virtually open, as we are here for our learning to do our teaching this morning.
Shalom, everyone. My name is Jonathan Billig. I'm the director of the Jewish Learning Adventure, the name for our innovative Hebrew school here at Congregation Emmanuel of the Hudson Valley. And today is Saturday, February 26th, 2022, the 26th of Adar, 5782. It's nice to have different ways to look at things. And speaking of different ways to look at things, I'm about to give a speech that I prepared earlier in the week before the tragic Russian invasion of Ukraine. And, as I said in last night's talk, I've been to those places, to Kiev and Kharkov and Odessa, as a musical outreach trip for a Jewish a cappella group that I was in college. So it's hit me rather hard, and that's, a very safe person here in New York, and I don't have relatives there, and so my heart deeply goes out to the people I met there, and to people who have connections, direct connections there. And I want to trust that as an educator, as we gather, as I give the talk I prepared with some modifications, that will be enough. And I'll start with a little bit of a song in honor of that trip. And yeah, and it's from Exodus chapter 25, verse 8, which is part of this whole sequence around building the desert sanctuary. As the people are wandering, they build this incredible sanctuary in the desert. And one of the verses is, the source says, make me a sanctuary and I will dwell among them. And the Hebrew is ve'asuli mikdash v'shachanti betocham. Ve'asuli mikdash v'shachanti betocham. Ve'asuli mikdash v'shachanti betocham. O source, prepare me to be a sanctuary, pure and holy, tried and true, and with thanksgiving I'll be living sanctuary for you. So, to explore what it means Jewishly to be a sanctuary, to really honor the source, we have to engage with the texts. And honestly, it's kind of hard to return to words on a day like this, when the world is in turmoil from so many different angles. Yet as Jews, history is embedded in words. We have this ancestral tradition that's passed on to us. We're studying the Torah. I'm talking about the Torah portion, which Jews have been talking about for literally thousands of years. It's ancestral wisdom. And my words can't change the world in this instant. And funny though, the world can't change our words either, at least not in this instant. And so as we return to those words, sometimes wisdom emerges, and wisdom that might even be relevant for the time. Let's see. Yesterday we talked about kahal, to how Moses gathers the people together. Vayakhel, it's the name of this week's Torah portion. And it's a portion about what the Israelites are told to do, what they bring, what they gather, what they build in the desert, and what this master craftsperson does. And whether or not you believe that the giant horde of Israelites trekked through the Sinai desert and got lost in there for 40 years on their way to what is now Israel, it's a beautiful image to imagine these people wandering and creating this incredible sanctuary. And the core of this portion is about skill. And it's not just regular skill. I was actually talking about this with the wonderful Jess Fillmore, and who's probably cringing behind the screen. Pay no attention to the person behind the curtain. And we were saying that sometimes the translations are just kind of lame. So wisdom of skill, actually in the Hebrew, is chokhmat halev, which means wisdom of the heart. So it's really, this portion is all about heart wisdom, the heart wisdom of the builders who create this incredible sanctuary. And as we explore that, I want us to consider a few core questions. And I'm going to put those up right now, and then we'll return to them at the end. So what does it mean to have wisdom of the heart? What might that mean now? Chokhmat halev. What does it mean for us to give to our community? Because that's what the Israelites are doing in this portion. And to build in our community. And what might it mean for us to receive? Because by giving for the community and building for the community, they're also receiving. Because they're building for their community. So I'm going to start by saying this portion and ones like it were incredibly frustrating for my kind of like anti-materialist, challenge the existing culture kind of person I was. Yet other people, like my sister, who is far more fabulous than me, and her fashion idol, I'm going to share an image, her fashion idol, the Jewish fashion maven icon Iris Apfel, might find this portion amazing. In fact, I've talked with my sister, and she does find this portion amazing because all of the like decorations, they're literally like dolphin skins talked about in this portion, dolphin skins to construct the temple. Beautiful, precious kinds of wood, gold, silver, woven linens. I think Iris might appreciate that. She's fabulous. She's got a lot of different things going on, and she makes it work. And it reminds me that there are different ways of doing things, and our material expression can really be a deep honoring of what is holy, and it also can be an opportunity for us to share and contribute. And look at CEHV. We talked last night about the incredible sanctuary that CEHV has world-class metalwork and beautiful contributions from the community, and not just physical, also how people really gave and give from their heart to make CEHV work. So maybe, again, the text has something to teach us, and I would say it does. The text has organic wisdom and rhythms embedded in it. Our text emerged from the relationship between a people, their land, and their religion, and their the source, and God. Whether or not we believe in that term, the people definitely had that as a central aspect, the fulcrum of their lives. And those three things, a professor of mine at Jewish Theological Seminary called them God, Torah, Israel, are inflected in the text and that's one of the reasons why Jews are called people of the book, although that's not the Jewish term. It's actually that's from the Quran, I believe. But all of this stuff is not just a bunch of stuff. It can feel frustrating and arbitrary at times. It's also a map. It has a patterned and living nature that's embedded in the text itself. Not just its composers, but the people that edited it, came back to it, and divided it into aliyot. And what I'm going to do today is look at the structure of the 7 aliyot and show you how there might be some wisdom there that touches on our core questions. What does it mean to have wisdom of the heart, and what does it really mean to give? So to start, true nerdy JTS graduate that I am going to go over a literary technique with you that the Torah loves. It's called chiasm. So it's when the start corresponds to the end, and then there's like a middle section. Or it can be more complex. You can have a beginning, a second part, a middle part, and then a part that corresponds to the second part, and a part that corresponds to the first part. So the middle gets emphasized, and you have these interesting similarities between the different sections. So in our Torah portion, there are 7 aliyot. And don't worry, I'm going to say a bunch of things right now, but there will be a visual that helps sum it up. So the first aliyah deals with the people getting gathered. Then they get a really severe commandment to rest. It says, keep the Sabbath or you'll get killed. And that's really severe and harsh, but a lot of things 2,000 years ago were severe and harsh. And I think all of us can relate to sometimes it being hard to rest, and we being needed to, like, you got to do this. So they're gathered, told to rest, and there's an instruction of what to bring to build the tabernacle. And then the Israelites in the second aliyah, they bring stuff. Do they ever bring stuff? They bring so much that in the third aliyah, we get introduced to the master craftsperson, and then Israelites get told, enough, stop bringing, it's too much, you got to stop, enough. In a good way, it's not, anyway. And then in the fourth aliyah, the wise of heart, the people who are chokhmat halev among the nation, are building. They're building the tabernacle. And they continue in the fifth aliyah. They're building, making tabernacle items. And then at the second half of the fifth aliyah, we get an introduction to the work of the master craftsperson, Betzalel. And then in the sixth and seventh aliyah, we hear about Betzalel's work, his work making the Ark of the Covenant. And in the last aliyah, on 7, we hear about his work making the altar which is where the sacrifices would have occurred, and the Holy of Holies, so like the core things in Judaism. So I don't know if you're following, it's kind of a lot, but I'm going to give you a visual to help you see that this is actually a beautiful chiasm. It's like actually a pattern, I think. That's sort of my theory. So in the first two aliyot, the Israelites are gathered. It's about the Israelites. They get the Shabbat, they get their instructions. In number two, they contribute, they give from their heart. And they're commanded to give, but what they give is from their heart. And in number three, we have Betzalel's introduction, and then they're told, enough, stop giving. The Israelites are told, it's amazing, stop, it's enough. And then the wise of heart are building in number four. In number five, the heart-wise Israelites are making the tabernacle, the traveling tent. Then we get introduced to Betzalel. And in the sixth and seventh aliyah, Betzalel's making the ark. And then in the seventh, they're making the altar, the most important thing. So now we start to get a little bit of an answer. What does it mean to be heart-wise, to give from the heart? Maybe it means to contribute from our hearts and then give the skills that we have, right? They're not, the Israelites aren't trying to be Betzalel. There are things they can't do that Betzalel can do, but they're being them. And then there's this other interesting thing. So the Israelites giving is the center, even though Betzalel's like the superstar, the center is the Israelites giving. And remember that in chiasm, it emphasizes the middle, but the edges get this interesting relationship. So let's look. Betzalel making the Holy of Holies, the most important artifact in Judaism, the thing that holds the 10 Commandments. The Raiders of the Lost Ark was looking for this, the Ark of the Covenant. What's the parallel to that? When Israelites gather, rest, get their instruction, and contribute from their hearts. So it's beautiful. Like, we don't need to be the master crafts person. We don't need to do it all perfectly. We need to give generously from our hearts and be who we are, and also rest sometimes. So as we start to come to a close, I want to say that our community, I think, does this pretty well. I talked last night about some of the people who have made this community work, Arnie Zappel, and there are countless others, folks who've been here longer than I've been alive, folks who've been here for their whole lives. And also there are new folks coming in. I want to mention a shout out, speaking of wisdom of heart, Chokhmat Halev, one of our parents in the Jewish Learning Adventure has something that is dear to her heart, and she's very wise in. She's a strategic planner for educational institutions. And she is helping CEHV and the Jewish Learning Adventure create a strategic plan going forward. And by now you might know who I'm talking about. I'm talking about Kelia Kenter. And she's really contributing her wisdom of their heart, her Chokhmat Halev. And so as I finish, I'd love to encourage you folks to think about it. I mean, if we were here in the sanctuary together, we could discuss this, but you can start to think about what does it mean to have wisdom of the heart, right? What does it mean to give to our community, and what might it mean to receive? And I hope CEHV can be that place, and the Jewish Learning Adventure can be that place for you. And either way, may we all give and receive, because as we learned, as I said at the start of the talk, words can't change the world in an instant, and the world doesn't change our words when we hold on to them and keep learning from them. But our tradition does evolve. So the world does change our words. And maybe in small ways, maybe in important ways, our words can also change the world. Thank you. Shabbat Shalom.
Thank you, Jonathan. Please stand with us as we work on a technical challenge. Thank you, Jonathan. Please join me on 374 as we prepare to return our virtual Torah this morning. Yahalelu et Shem Adonai Kiniskav Shemo Levado Hodo Haaretz V'Shamayim Vayaram Karam Le'amo Tehila Lechol Chasidav Livnei Yisrael Am Kerovo Hallelujah, hallelujah. Ki lekach tov natati lachem torati al ta'atzovu, for I have given you good instruction. Do not abandon it. Eitz chaim hi lemachazikim ba v'tom me'ushar. Diracheha darchei nom v'kol netevotecha shalom. Hashiveinu Adonai Elecha v'nashuva Chadish, Chadish Yameinu, Chadish Yameinu, Kekedem. We will pause to explore some of the exciting things coming up in our community. Tomorrow, Sunday, our religious school, our Zimit Jewish Learning Adventure will begin at 9:30 a.m. Our annual Mishlo Amanot program is underway. We hope all members will participate in the social action project. Starting next week, the donation drop-off will be placed outside the front door at synagogue from March 1st to March 16th. Drop off your donation anytime. Daily Connections with Rabbi Yael will resume as usual next week and always are open to welcome newcomers. Tuesday morning meditation begins at 8:45 a.m. Then on Wednesday, Trope meets at 12:30 and Conversational Hebrew Wednesday at 4 p.m. Thursday morning, March 3rd, join Rabbi Yael for Coffee Chai with the Rabbi, a great way to start your day at 8:45 a.m. Next Friday, March 4th, two of our B'nai Mitzvah students, Hannah and Isaiah, are organizing a childcare activity to be available to the children of families attending the first Friday of the month, early family Shabbat, service beginning at 6 p.m. This is next Friday, March 4th. Very cool. Our Purim Carnival, March 13th, CEHV's Jewish Learning Adventure is hosting a Purim Carnival. Events will include arts and crafts, games, and a costume fashion show. Zemmer is continuing our rehearsals on Tuesday evenings. Our next rehearsal date is March 15th from 5 to 6:30 p.m. We are preparing and exploring Shabbat songs to offer in weekly prayer and Pesach songs for our festival celebration in a few months in April. We would love if you could join us. Please contact me if you have any questions or need help with transportation. Purim, March 18th, save the date. Megillah preparations have begun, and we look forward to seeing you in person and in costume. Megillah reading, spiel, and abbreviated service begin at 6 p.m. A parent open house will be held Sunday, April 24th Parents of prospective students of the Zimmet Jewish Learning Adventure are welcome to join on Sunday, April 24th. Please contact our religious school director, Jonathan, with any questions. CEHV's Food Access and Security Initiative continues to support the Blue Fridge. This ongoing program accepts a variety of donations, including prepared meals, fresh produce, or pantry staples. For more details, contact the main office. Membership and Welcoming Committee invite you to join us at CEHV for our in-person community services Friday evenings and Saturday mornings. Please contact the main office to learn how you can help keep our services running. Member and COVID-19 protocol. For our most current COVID protocol, please check our websites for details. We ask everyone attending in person who is eligible to be vaccinated that you be fully vaccinated, engage in masking and social distancing, and please plan to sign in and show proof of vaccination upon entering the building. Please join me, rising in spirit and or our physical body, with our kavanah, our intention toward Jerusalem 587. Aleinu l'shabeach la'adon ha'kol, la'teit gedula li'yotzer bereshit, shehu sam chelkeinu li'ached et shemo, v'gor aleinu l'amlich malchuto, v'anachnu korim, u'mishtachavim u'modim, lifnei melech malchei hamlachim, hakadosh baruch hu. 591. V'nemar v'haya Adonai lemelech al kol haaretz bayom hahu yiyeh Adonai echad u'shemo As we move to close our service, please join me. 592. When I die, give what's left of me away to children and old people that wait to die. And if you need to cry, cry for the other walking the street beside you. And when you need me, put your arms around anyone and give them what you need to give me. I want to leave you something better than words or sounds. Look for me in the people I've known or loved, and if you cannot give me away, at least let me live in your eyes and not in your mind. You can love me best by letting hands touch hands, by letting bodies touch bodies, and by letting go of children that need to be free. Love doesn't die. People do. So when all that's left of me is love, give me away. We are holding close every family in our community who is in their year of mourning. We are holding close Sandy Albelian family and all others who are in their year of mourning. so too do we weave in the memory of our loved ones in our community who have passed away in this season in years past. Our hearts join with yours in remembering Ellen Aronson, remembered by Jeff Greenberg, Babette Greenwald, Milton Helfand, remembered by Bob Helfand, Sarah Lipman, remembered by Charles Lipman, Jack Miller, remembered by Martin Miller, Marvin Rosenberg, remembered by Steve Rosenberg, Jeanette Smith, remembered by Felice Gasul, Dr. A. Stern, Sal Stern, and Dorothy Sumber, remembered by Jonathan and Linda Sumber. Zichronam Livracha, may their memory be for a blessing. Along with those who are mourning, we have a tradition in our community to stand side by side in support of them and in recognition of all of those martyrs of our people who left no one to say Kaddish for them. Not only for our people, but those of every race and nation who have lived their lives as a blessing to humanity. We affirm Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabba be'alma divra chirute v'yamlich malchute b'chayechon uvyomechon uvchaye dechol beit Yisrael ba'agala uvizman kariv v'imru amen Yehei shmei Rabba mevarach le'olam ul almei almaya Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh Vit Adar, Vit Ale, Vit Halal, Shmeid, Kudesha, Berich Hu, Le'ela, Min Kol Birchata, V'shirata, Tush, Bechata, V'nechemata, Da Amiran, Be'alma, V'imru, Amen. Yehi Shlama, Rabba Min Shemaya, V'chayim Aleinu, V'al Kol Yisrael, V'imru, Amen. Oseh Shalom B'mromav, Hu Ya'aseh Shalom, Aleinu, V'al Kol Yisrael, V'al kol b'nei Adam, v'imru, Amen. 677. Open up our eyes. Teach us how to live. Fill our hearts with joy in all the love you have to give. Gather us in peace as you lead us to your name, and we will know that you are one. Open up our eyes, teach us how to live, fill our hearts with joy and all the love you have to stay and join me for a short blessing, a short Kiddush together. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei pari hagafen. Amen. L'chaim. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, hamotzi lecha min haaretz. Amen. Thank you for your openness this morning to something different. Thank you for joining us in our prayer and our study. I look forward to the next